King Link here, and actually I know it's not the beginning of the month, but I'm actually here to talk about one of my favorite games, and right here is actually where I first remember playing it. And I can just, pop it in? Nope, how about... Okay, so maybe if I... Okay, maybe it's just in the box. I can just put the box on top and it will work, no? Okay, this might be a problem, and not just because I don't remember where I put the actual Activision Anthology disc, not like this would work on a PC in the first place, but the good news is we can go back to a video I did a couple years ago about our old friend emulation, and before anyone asks, no, this week's game isn't on Steam in any form I know of, sadly. However, thanks to PCSX2, we can look at this game and, oh boy, another problem. Okay, so the music goes off, and honestly, there are two things I really loved about this Activision Anthology when I played it originally. The first being that beautiful music, which of course we can't hear because of YouTube shenanigans. The songs really brought me back to the 80s, the Tainted Love and White Wedding, and the other thing I loved was the collection of games. Activision was amazing during the Atari era, making unique and incredible titles, and I'd recommend people checking out the entire Activision Anthology if you can. But I want to focus on a specific title that I first experienced playing this, and that's Dolphin. You already know from the video's title, but that's where we're going. But let's check out the real Atari 2600 card. Oh wait, I still don't have my Atari 2600, or maybe I do at my parents' place in Florida, and that's like 3,000 miles away from me, so yeah, let's see if this PC can run it. Just push it in. Just USB, huh? Oh, right. Okay, I'm just such an idiot. It's upside down. And yeah, I don't think this is going to work either. I'm guessing we're going to have to emulate once again, and here, finally, this is Dolphin. Now, as you watch me play this game, I'm sure some people aren't going to understand what's going on, and that's actually a fundamental part of why this is one of my favorite games from the 2600. There are three things I love about this, including one very unique feature. Now, the first is that this is the entire game. There's not a lot of hidden complexity here. After all, this is a 2600 game. The Dolphin tries to get away from the squid, the Dolphin can switch directions, the squid chases after him, and will keep gaining. There are little waves that can help or hinder the Dolphin depending on who gets hit, though. The second thing is, of course, that there is the power pellet, and in this case, it's the seagull. So yes, a dolphin jumps out of the water and eats a seagull, which gives them the power to eat a squid. Just like real life, right? It's kind of a strange power dynamic, but let's be honest, we've all seen worse. The third piece, though, has been playing the entire time, and maybe some bad-eared listeners may have picked up on it, but let me make it a bit more obvious. That's right, our plucky little dolphin is echolocating, and the sound and pitch means a wall of seahorses is approaching, and the players will have to dodge through them trying to figure out the height based on the pitch of the sound made. The thing is, there's not a lot of games that even do something like this today, and admittedly, it is a really bad game design if you're hard of hearing or just deaf, but that's also kind of the point of it. This is intended to be the main ability or skill that the player has to master to play this game, and I admittedly have runs of good luck and bad luck. Honestly, I've played this game a lot, so I'm hoping I'm better than most, but hearing has never been my strongest suit. So we have a unique single screen game, it does have multiple difficulties, it has unique echolocation mechanics, and it's worth checking out, absolutely. That's it. That's this video I've made. Except, okay, there is a little bit more. This is one of my favorite games, maybe not actually my top 10, but easily top 3 on Atari, so what more is there to say? Well, we are talking about emulation, and I've talked about why others and I emulate a long time ago, but there is an important part of emulation that really does mean quite a bit to me. Retro Achievements is a site where amazing people create achievements for old games. You have everything from Final Fantasy to Genesis titles to even the Metal Gear series. If it's an old game that you love, there are probably achievements that have already been added to it, and of course, I wanted achievements for Dolphin, but when you used to search Dolphin, you got this. This is of course the site's 404, but essentially Dolphin isn't on Retro Achievements. Well, it wasn't when I started this journey. Yeah, so a big part of what I've been doing for the last couple months is thinking about how I could do more for Retro Achievements and emulation and so on, and actually, well, let's try it out. Ooh, 25 achievements, let's earn some of these. The thing is, when I talk to people about Retro Achievements, I hear two responses. Achievements are stupid, and yeah, that's fine, just don't actually turn them on. Retro games have this great ability to not even have achievements, but the other and perhaps a little more common statement is, that's cool, and I agree. I love little achievements, plaques of completion, and challenges. I'm having a good time with this set, so let's take a look at the site. Huh. Oh. Okay, that's why we're talking about this, isn't it? And I'm sure someone out there is going, aha! This is just self-promotion. And admittedly, this is a little bit of an ad, for something you don't have to pay money to enjoy, of course. That's a pretty good deal, but there's also a promotion of a game from a very old era, a retro review if you will, a game I felt so strongly about that I decided to put aside just gaming in my off time and started looking at the game itself, and you know what, let me quickly show you what that actually looks like. And yeah, there's a lot here, and maybe another time I'll talk about all of this if people are really interested in what's going on, and talk about my passion for it. But ultimately, I used all these tools and worked on the game, and eventually I found parts of the game that made sense in memory, wrote achievements, edited them, played test them like crazy, waited about 5 weeks for a review, and got them published. And after all that work, mostly the waiting, Dolphin is now able to be played by anyone who wants to check out a classic Atari title that deserves a look. From a time when Activision tried some very novel stuff instead of just putting microtransactions in everything and reviving the same franchises in admittedly unimpressive offerings. And there is one other thing that's kind of been going on. I've recently become a bit bored by modern gaming. I just don't find myself enjoying them as much, and what I have been enjoying is looking into these older titles and figuring out how they worked, and then using that information to make achievements for other people to check out when they feel like it. And not just simple achievements, but well, let me tell you one more piece of Dolphin's history, or Activision, because as much as I love this game, there's something very cool about how Activision used to operate. You see, if we go back to the manual, you get these offerings. Back in the day, if you sent Activision proof you hit 80,000 points in any mode, you got a badge. And if you hit a special number, 300,000, you get a secret message that got you a better, different badge. And this is a legit badge that Activision sent people that you could put on a jacket or whatever. And of course, this is where I display my actual badges, if I had any. Yeah, I'm not exactly that old, maybe I am, but I didn't play these games when I was 2, or at least I didn't know about the badges at the time, and that makes me a bit sad. However, I took 2 of those badges and made a series of achievements based on them, implementing them on each difficulty in the game, and there's actually a lot more I did here. You can check out the achievements yourself. I'll drop a link in the description, and I really hope you do. I'm not going to go through the whole process of setting retro achievements this time, but simply download it, boot it, create an account on Retro Achievements, add that account to RetroArch. There's a similar process for BizHawk if you prefer it. Download a compatible core, Stella in this case, and then boot the correct ROM. Note, this is all done off of hashing, so if you don't see the game, it's possible you have a different version of the game and may need to acquire a new version through legal means, of course. I have no rights to the game itself, it's just I own it on 2 different platforms as you've seen, if I ever truly find that pesky PS2 disc. But before I end, I do want to talk about one other cool thing I learned while doing this whole process. I'm going to demo a little bug, so if you get close to the seahorses and then quickly change direction, the game glitches and gives you 50 points thinking you passed the seahorses perfectly. Now this is something I doubt anyone knows about, maybe not even the developer, at least not anymore. It's a bug, but it's a cool little feature that I may be the only one who knows about, and I'm going to be sharing little pieces like this with you if I can. Basically, without diving too deep, this is all done based on hit detection, where it checks how many times the dolphin collides with the seahorses, but you trigger the area of the seahorses and leave it before touching them. Kind of a fun but very minor bug in my opinion. So what does this video mean? Well, let's just go through it. Dolphin is a great freaking game and needs to be checked out by more people no matter what format. Retro Achievements now has a set for it if you're interested in that. I'm officially creating achievement sets on Retro Achievements. I'm mostly overplaying modern games, but I did just play Like a Dragon Gaiden, so I'm full of contradictions like that, and honestly, I'm happy to be checking out games more deeply and uniquely by looking at the code. With all that said, I'm going to keep talking about these titles as well as the achievement sets I'm working on, and I hope you come along down memory lane with me. I will say that I'll have more to talk about in future entries, perhaps, and I'll try to keep these shorter, at least with the side information, but I really enjoyed this so much that I'm going to be sharing my passion with all of you. If you're concerned about the channel changing too much, don't worry. Humble Choice is still going to get reviewed. I'm sure I'll be playing something else modern someday soon. Like a Dragon 8 comes out early next year after all, and Hades 2 is somewhere I think. But I kind of want to talk about retro games for a while and why I love certain ones. I'm not sure what the next game I'm working on is. I'm just going to tuck this one away and... oh, what's that game doing there? I'm sure that means nothing. Let me know what you think about this video. It's of course something new, so I'd love feedback, but also let me know if you want to see more or even just suggest great retro games, whether there's something you love, something you're so passionate about that you feel a desire to get more people to check it out, or games with or without a great set on retro achievements. Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out and lets me know what you think of the video and this idea. I'm going to be trying my hardest to keep making sets, but my goal is also be talking about why I made sets or what's special about these titles that I select. At least, assuming I have a real reason for it. See you next time.